Effective goal setting and planning is crucial for success in ultralearning or any accelerated learning program. Without clear goals and a structured plan, it is easy to waste time on unimportant tasks or to feel like you are lacking direction in your studies. Module 1 focuses on teaching learners how to set SMART goals and develop a timeline to stay on track. There are several key principles of goal setting that learners should understand. Specific goals are better than general goals. A goal like learn programming is too broad, while become proficient in Python by building 3 projects in the next 6 months provides specificity. Specific goals make it easier to determine if you have achieved them or not. Measurable goals allow you to track your progress objectively. It's important that goals can be quantifiably measured so you know where you stand. For example, a goal of understand calculus is not measurable, but correctly solve 95% of practice calculus problems allows measurable assessment of your progress. Attainable goals that you have a realistic chance of achieving will help maintain your motivation. Setting goals that are too difficult or unrealistic can lead to feeling defeated. Take inventory of your current abilities and available time resources to determine what can reasonably be accomplished. Relevant goals should align with your overall learning objectives and interests. There's no point dedicating time to arbitrary tasks just for the sake of checking off boxes. Focus your goals on what truly matters for your desired outcomes. Time-bound goals provide structure and deadlines. Having a firm time frame makes it less likely goals will remain indefinitely open-ended. Learn Russian vocabulary by the end of the year is stronger than a vague, time-frameless goal. In addition to being smart, goals need to be specific enough to be broken down into actionable steps. For example, become fluent in Spanish conversation could be broken into the following steps. 1. Review Spanish grammar foundation. 2. Practice 300 new vocabulary words per month. 3. Complete 1 speaking practice session per day. 4. Travel to a Spanish-speaking country for total immersion. 5. Be able to engage comfortably in simple conversations. Creating a timeline and study schedule is another key element of Module 1. This helps allocate time efficiently and stay accountable. For example, a learner aiming to finish the French learning course Pimsleur in 3 months could create this schedule. Week 1, Lessons 1 to 5 MF, review Lessons 1 to 2 on weekend. Week 2, Lessons 6 to 10 MF, review Lessons 3 to 5 on weekend. Week 3 to 12, 2 new lessons per day MF, review previous lessons on weekend. Practical example 1. Goal setting for anatomy learning. Janice is a nursing student who wants to improve her understanding of human anatomy systems before an upcoming exam. Here is an example of how she could apply the principles of goal setting. Overall goal, score in the top 25% on the upcoming anatomy exam. SMART goals. 1. Memorize the major bones and their locations by the end of the month. 2. Review 3 muscle tendon systems per week for 4 weeks. 3. Correctly label 90% of structures on anatomy sketches within 2 minutes. Action plan. Week 1. Bones. Read bone chapter. Make flashcards of bones. Review bones for 10 minutes daily with flashcards. Week 2. Muscular system. Read muscle chapter. Take notes on functions. Complete 10 muscle labeling exercises per day. Week 3. Circulatory system. Watch Khan Academy videos on blood flow. Draw, label circulatory diagrams weekly. Week 4, Nervous System. Complete Crash Course YouTube series. Review previous systems daily. The spaced repetition technique involves revisiting information or skills at gradually increasing intervals to optimize long-term retention. This is based on cognitive theories that our ability to recall information decreases sharply a few hours after initial exposure, but practice at spaced intervals strengthens memory retention over time. There are a few key principles of effective spaced repetition. Initial retrieval practice should occur shortly after initial exposure, such as restudying new material later the same day. This takes advantage of our strongest memory just after learning. Subsequent reviews are spaced further apart, following schedules proven by research like Anthropic's logarithmic spacing algorithm or SuperMemo's optimized repetition intervals. Retrieval should involve active recall, where learners generate answers without reference material, such as attempting to write definitions from memory. Passive rereading is less effective. Feedback is essential to cement understanding and catch errors. Automated learning platforms can incorporate answer verification. Information should be varied between practice sessions to avoid predictability. Mix up questions, facts learned on different days. Periodic review of all prior content, not just the most recent, improves long-term understanding. There are both digital and analog tools available to help implement spaced repetition schedules. Flashcard apps like Anki follow optimized algorithms to space card reviews. Websites like SuperMemo automate repetition scheduling of content. Physical flashcards can be used along with a box system, moving cards to new piles based on accuracy. Practical example 2. Using spaced repetition for vocabulary learning. Yasmin is learning conversational French vocabulary to prepare for an upcoming trip to Paris. Here is how she could apply spaced repetition strategies. She created 100 vocabulary flashcards with French words on one side and English definitions on the back. On day 1, she reviewed all 100 cards twice. Any cards she wasn't able to recall on the second pass were set aside for more frequent practice. On day 2, she reviewed the full set again. Cards remembered on the first pass moved to a 1-day pile for less frequent review. Others moved to a 2-days pile. She continued reviewing according to the pile schedule, gradually spacing out reviews of cards she was retaining well. After a week, her schedule was 1-day pile, every other day, 2-day pile, every 2 days, 3-day pile, every 3 days. She incorporated active recall by covering definitions and saying the word out loud before checking her accuracy. Any missed cards were reset back one interval to strengthen memory. In summary, spaced repetition is a highly effective technique for learning and retaining large volumes of information as required for ultralearning. Well-designed schedules promote long-term memorization through graduated, active recall at optimized intervals spaced out between review sessions. Both digital tools and manual flashcards can support personalized spaced repetition practice.